Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, Transparent Trade Solutions on a Tuesday. This is the seventh day of April. We are obviously, everybody knows we're waiting on the deadline tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, whether we bomb Iran, escalate, or this is just a tactic to de-escalate. And in any event, all we care about is the markets. Let's get right into the charts. Interesting, I wrote about over the weekend, so subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't done so already. And I have a class coming up on Thursday talking about anticipatory trend changes. What's interesting, again, what I wrote about the week was basically, again, just sticking to the charts, even with all of the noise and everything going on. Essentially, the S&P, if you really just are focused on the charts, have been stuck here at a supply zone. And now we're consolidating with demand over at 64.55. Obviously, there's always a catalyst that moves price. If, oil continues to go up and things get worse, you got 65, 70 as your first level, and then we probably test this low down in here. This is the demand zone. So that's really what you are focused on if you're a trader. Clearly, the catalyst, I do believe if we do start bombing, I think we're going to probably get another downdraft here, similar with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's actually been a little bit stronger. You can see we have these lows here. This is like actual demand zone here. We've been remarkably resilient so far in the fact that we haven't really tested those lows, even as oil, which incidentally, similarly, oil is now trying to test that high up here at 119.48. So it's been a higher oil price, but stocks have hung in there so far. That's the key. At what point is it 120, 130? By the way, the all-time high, the previous highs in oil were 130 in the Ukraine situation. And back in 2008, we hit 147, which people don't even remember. But in 2007, oil hit 147. That was a demand situation. So we still have those that could potentially be in play with regards to oil prices. And obviously at 120, 130, it's, I think, not really a matter of the price level, it's how long they stay there. And we'll see, obviously we've gone through these price shocks before and come out okay on the stock market. This is, slightly different, but we'll see. Bottom line is trust your charts. We'll see what happens tonight. Obviously, if you were a little skittish about long positions, you would obviously hedge. All the other markets really, nat gas I'd mentioned over the weekend on the newsletter, that seems to be still holding and maybe wants to break out if it trades above 289. Not much really elsewhere. Dollar cannot break above 100, which I find really interesting. I would think that the dollar would be a lot higher with what's going on potentially this tonight. I think the dollar will probably break out if this has been the only safe haven. Gold clearly is still impacted by the dollar. That's kind of stuck in a range here. Not much going on here. So, the bottom line is, we'll be watching tonight to see, what the reaction is, if anything. There's also, by the way, I'm doing this about, I'm doing this at 11:52 on on the West Coast. So could there be something between now and the close that changes everything? We never know. The pattern has been good news usually from the White House comes out during market hours and bad news after market hours. So we will see. Again, if you wanted to wait for the dust to settle after tonight, you obviously can do that. I think if we do sell off hard, there's going to be some great opportunities. if you're long, you may leave some money on the table because the market will rip if good news comes out. In either case, it's going to be an interesting afternoon, but just trust your levels at this point to see what happens on the VIX, which is really interesting. We may have to have a VIX at 35, 40, maybe if things have a negative reaction, we probably may want to test 35 on the VIX. So that's where we're at this afternoon. Again, I'm doing this about 11:53 on the Pacific. So we'll see into the close today, and then obviously we'll find out later this afternoon what transpires with regards to the Iranian situation. Okay, all right. Again, sign up for the newsletter. I have a class on Thursday, and obviously very interesting, lots of volatility, but plenty of opportunities. All right, have a great rest of your day. Take care.